Hey guys, so we started subtraction at the end of last week, and so we are going to do a review over subtraction, and then on Tuesday you will have a test to show me how you're doing with the subtraction. So the first one is a word problem, so you will have word problems on your test. So let's go over how we work our word problem. So you will need the handout that says Math Monday Subtraction with Regrouping Exit Ticket, and it does have a back to it. Guys, if you do not have the handout, you can just watch the video, listen, you can write everything down before you can pause it, write the word problem down, and then start the video to watch it. Same thing with the back. You can pause it to write the problems on the back. I have also linked the handout in the Canvas, so you can click on the link to copy everything down before we start the video. So you don't actually have to have the handout, you can write it down. All right, guys. So a bakery made 835 cupcakes to sell at the carnival. Of those, 718 were bought. How many cupcakes were left over? Okay, so I'm going to color code my sentence. I'm going to start with green. And I'm going to start at a bakery made 835 cupcakes to sell at the carnival. And then we have, of those, $718 were bought. And then we have, how many cupcakes were left over? So that is our question. So that is what we are looking for. So if I started out with 835 cupcakes and 718 were bought, that means someone came and took them. And I want to know how many cupcakes were left over. I'm going to subtract. And guys, you can do it where we need to set up our problem. So if you need to write your hundreds, tens, and ones chart to help you, I would do that. And I would write 835. We start always with the biggest number, minus 718 equals. Now, if you need to come over here and draw out your blocks, you can do that. That is no problem, guys. Okay, so if you need to come down here and draw out the blocks, we can say 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 3 tens, 10, 20, 30, and 5 ones. 5. You can do that. And we won't have to draw the second number because we're going to be taking away. So 5 minus 8. If I was to take away 8 from this 5, what would I get? Well, if you notice, we don't have enough ones. So that means that I'm going to have to go to the tens place, and I'm going to have to borrow a 10 long. Okay, and so when I borrow a 10 long, that leaves me with 2 tens. And I'm going to put over here, I'm going to take this 10 long and break it into 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So instead of 5 ones, I have 15 because I took that one out. Now I can take away 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 ones. Now if I go to my tens place and I do 2 minus 1, I can take a 1 from the 2 and I'm left with 1 10 long. And then my hundreds place, if I take away 7, I'm left with 100 flat. So my solution statement would read, there were 117 cupcakes, because we have to know what they're selling, left over. Okay, so my solution statement, guys, is putting my answer into a sentence, a statement. Okay. Now, let's go to the back. And now we're just doing straight subtraction problems. So let's look at this. Remember, you can always draw hundreds, tens, and ones to help you with your place value. So all we're doing is subtraction. So 6 minus 4 is 2. 5 minus 2 is 3. And 7 minus 3 is 4. So 432. Number 2. Remember, hundreds, tens, and ones. And if you notice, there's nothing here in this hundreds place. So 8 minus 7 is 1. 9 minus 8 is 1. And 1 minus 0 is 1. So 111. Number 3, 2 minus 3. Uh-oh. I have 2, and I'm trying to take away 3. It doesn't work. So that means, guys, I need to go where? You're right. I need to go to the tens place, and I'm going to borrow a 10 long. So that means I'm going to have 5 left, and that 10 long comes over here, and I'm adding 10 to the 2, so that makes 12. And if you need to go on a piece of paper and draw that out, draw it out. So 12 minus 3 is 9. 5 minus 2 is 3. And 5 minus 2 is 3. So my answer is 339. Okay. Number 4. 2 minus 9. Uh-oh. Can I take away 9 from that? So I go to my tens place. I'm going to borrow a 10 long. So instead of 7, I now have 6. And I'm going to take that 10 long and add it to the 2. So now I have 12 because I added 10 to that. So 12 minus 9 is 3. 6 minus 0 is 6. And 8 minus 1 is 7. Okay, I want you to go down to the very bottom of your paper, and we're going to write a problem that looks like this. 400 minus 162. Okay, I want you to write that. Don't write it really big, just write it normally. Now let's try to work this problem. I have 0 minus 2. I can't do that because there is nothing here. There's nothing to take away. So now we know when we don't have enough ones, we go to the tens place. But uh-oh, look at that one. I can't borrow from there. There's nothing. So that means I got to go all the way to the hundreds place. And I'm going to borrow 100. So that means instead of 4 hundreds, I now have 3. And that 100 flat, I'm going to break up into tens. And I'm going to put it in my tens place. So instead of 0, I now have 10 tenths. Okay. Now, I have enough in my tens place, but I still can't do anything in my ones place. So I need to go to my tens place and take away a 10 long from the 10, which now makes 9. And now I have 10 ones. Okay, so that's having to regroup twice. Okay. So these can get kind of tricky. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 3 minus 1 is 2. Let's do another one of those. So come over next to that one and let's do another one. So let's do 500 minus 264. Okay. And so I cannot do anything. I don't have enough ones to take away 4. So I know that I need to borrow, but I can't borrow from the tens place because there's a 0. I have nothing to borrow. So I'm going to go all the way to the hundreds place. And I'm going to take 100, which would leave me with 4. And that hundreds flat is going to break up into tens. And that means I now have 10 10 longs. Okay, so I could go ahead and subtract, but I still got to go to my ones place because remember, I always start in my ones place and I still don't have enough ones. So now when I go to the tens place, I have enough tens. I can take a 10 away from 9, from 10 I mean, so that leaves me with 9 10 longs. And I break that 10 longs up and make it into 10 ones. So now I can subtract. 10 minus 4 is 6. 9 minus 6 is 3. And 4 minus 2 is 2. So I want you to work problems 5, 6, 7, and 8 on your own. And I want you to add this one to the bottom. 300 minus 96. Okay, make sure you line that up correctly. Because if you notice, there's not hundreds at the bottom. Okay, so stop, pause the video now, and write this one on there, 300 minus 96, and then you're going to finish working 5, 6, 7, and 8 for me to check. All right, guys.